Now when I think about the Hyundai Verna, you know what comes to my mind? I think of it as being a car that's trying to do a lot of things. It's not solely relying on the fact that it's got a heritage or solely relying on the fact that it's the most cheapest and the most frugal option in its segment. This car is trying to do a lot of things, and that can be quite tricky to achieve. Hyundai did come close to that when the new Verna came out. Now they've come out with a facelift. So the question we will be asking is not only what's new in this car, but also whether it adds to the value for money offering that the Verna brings to the table. Now I want to start this review with the design of the car because that has been one of the talking points about the Hyundai Verna facelift. Now I know looks are a subjective matter, but hear me out. One of the things that I think is affecting people's opinions is the fact that the Hyundai Verna in pictures does not look as big as it really is. And now having seen it in flesh, I think the design looks alright and I quite like it personally. But then again, looks is something that you have to decide on. In terms of what's new on the outside, well, it has a new face for itself, which is a lot sharper and sportier than before. The new wider grille with its blacked out chrome finish now merges seamlessly into the headlamps, which are now all LEDs. I liked how the DRLs wrap around the unit, giving the car a distinct look. You also get chrome garnishing on the front lip, and the fog lamp housings have been redesigned in order to add to that sporty nature. From the sides, the Verna looks identical barring the new 16-inch alloy wheels, which do look nice. At the back, the bumper has been tweaked, and that coupled with the chrome garnish at the bottom makes the car look wider than before. The tail lamps have been updated too and are now in sync to the same three-part design as the headlamps follow. Step inside and you will be greeted with the familiar interior layout. There are some minor changes, but what you would notice right away is that it now has an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system that now protrudes outwards from the dash, and as per our experience, it has a better touch response and smoother animations than before. Other good bits include a wireless charging pad, which does sound great, but keep in mind that it will not fit big phones like the OnePlus 7 for example, and on the other hand, it will fit a phone like the Pixel 2 as you can see here. The front seat passengers also get cool seats, which is a blessing in summers. The other big change is that the instrument cluster is now an all-digital unit. It is a bit busy to be honest, and it takes some time getting used to and recognizing which information lies where, but once you get used to it, it is a better experience. And now, coming to the back seat. Now if the Hyundai Verna interests you, then chances are that you might be looking at the Verna as a car that you're going to be chauffeur-driven in. If that is the case, then this is the all-important seat for you. So to give you an idea of space, I've set the driving seat as per my height, which for reference is 5'10", and to sum up my rear seat experience, well, it's a bit of a mixed feeling. You see, the thing is, I've got all the comfort features that I would want. I've got a rear AC vent for myself, I have a charging port, I have an armrest with cup holders in it, I've got adjustable headrest, the seating position is rather comfortable, I even have a rear sunshade, so there's not a lot to complain about. However, what I don't like is the amount of knee room and leg room that I have in the back seat. For a car this size, I'm left wanting for a bit more. But the question is, will you be left wanting for more if you were to step into the driver's seat? Now coming to the driving experience of the Hyundai Verna, well, we are driving the 1.5-litre petrol engine equipped variant. It is now BS6 emission norm compliant, but the difference now is the fact that it is a bit more smoother to drive, a bit more refined. But if you're someone who's into a sporty driving experience, well, you might find that the steering wheel lacks a bit of a feedback. However, the upside to that is that this light steering wheel makes the Verna an absolute gem to drive in city traffic conditions. What adds to that comfort is the fact that this engine also comes with the option of a CVT transmission, which was the variant that we drove. And the gearbox left us impressed. There is the typical rubber band effect that comes with this kind of a gearbox, but almost always the onboard computer knew which gear to be in and judged it correctly whenever I wanted the car to downshift or upshift, so no complaints in that department. The driving experience in terms of comfort as a whole remains identical to the older Verna, which means a supple ride experience where the car can go through bad patches of roads with ease. It actually manages to hit the sweet spot of being a capable city car on city roads and give you a decent driving experience when you hit the highways and those fast corners. As for the driver, the driving position is relaxed and the visibility is good too. And yes, now you get an electric sunroof as well. Adding to the long list of features is the fact that Verna now comes with Hyundai's Blue Link connected tech, which means you can do several remote operations like pre-cooling the cabin and remote engine start-stop through an app. There is cruise control on board, tire pressure monitoring system, and the support for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So basically, the Verna covers all the bases when it comes to comfort and features. So to sum up my experience of the Hyundai Verna, now I spent quite a lot of time with it and I've driven it quite a lot, and I think in order to sum it all up, I have to go back to the thing I started the video with, which is how I feel about the Hyundai Verna. I still think this is a car that's trying to do a lot of things. However, in its latest iteration, it does manages to meet a lot of its own high set expectations. So if you're in the market looking for a sedan that's very easy to drive in city conditions, is loaded to the brim with features and connected tech, and want a car that looks sporty, then the Hyundai Verna is something you can definitely check out.